Do you remember 20 plus years ago, I went to sleep in the back of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, assured that I would make it back to Austin, and you, for some reason, drove hours and hours north just looking for a White Castle? Why did you do that?
I don't know why I did that. I think at the time I really was like crazy about White Castle.
You were the one that explained to me, Crystal is just Southern White Castle.
It is just Southern White Castle.
Well, why don't we go to Crystal? And you're like, because it's not White Castle.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
We all think this is gonna work, right?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by Squarespace. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Spell it right, R-O-G-U-E. Get 10% off with promo code ROGUE. Also free trial. Did it stay looking like a unicorn? That's what I was going for. All right, GT, you lived in New York for how long?
I was there from 2012 until I think like the beginning of 21.
More than a decade, right?
Just about.
I know you as the kid who drove the car and set up my stage show when I was on tour.
Yeah.
But during that time, you were a karaoke host, pub trivia.
DJ at a strip club.
DJ at a strip club.
And a manager.
Have always known and done magic. Oh, and now you work at the world's largest left-hand guitar shop. Yeah.
Did you say stand-up comedy?
I didn't.
Houston, Texas, and in New York City.
One thing a modern rogue should never be is totally ignorant of local customs. As best I can tell, New York is a crazy, bizarre, gargantuan spaceship that speaks its own language. For some reason, it's okay that all the streets are covered in garbage at 10 p.m. and they think it's cute, and nobody really cares where they live.
Gotta watch out for the rats, baby. Watch out for the rats.
I want you to explain to me some of the secret languages that would allow me to blend in as a New York local. What is the first thing I should know?
Okay, so when you get up in the morning, because I'm just thinking about like what might be your normal work day. Let's say you had to go somewhere to go to work, right? The first thing you gotta go to is a bodega. Do you know what a bodega is?
I do, because I just read the Beastie Boys book, which is excellent. We would call it a shopette in some other places. We would call it a convenience store in other places.
However, there is a difference between a bodega and a deli. I had to do my own research because I didn't know that there was technically a difference. A deli has a cold bar where you can like put food in it by the pound.
Bodega, what I picture, is basically
A little bit dirty.
a gas station
Without gas.
without gas, 5-inch glass between you and whoever's talking on their cell phone.
Yes.
Probably some Delta 8 weed and also
Probably.
Snickers.
Yes. And the guy behind the counter, and especially in the rougher neighborhoods, he has to step up to where he's gonna stand and take money from you. That's also important. I don't know why, but I guess so he don't get stabbed real easy.
So when you walk in, you're like, that guy is really short. And then he goes, do, and then he takes your money. Is it like a bank teller with a speaker?
Sometimes they do have the bulletproof glass. Sometimes it's just open, but either way, generally speaking, in most instances, he's a couple steps up.
Okay.
So you're gonna have a local bodega that you start your day at. Like that's what I would do every day. I'd go there and get coffee, and then you're gonna speak to the guy behind the counter, and this was one of the first things I learned, and it's gonna be slightly inappropriate. So before I explain this to you, do you know the song New York State of Mind?
This is the Billy Joel, right?
Yeah. Now I know something about you.
Okay,
See, I'm way ahead of you. I wanted to know which one you were gonna say. If somebody would have said Nas, then I'm like, okay, so he has some inner street knowledge, and I grew up in Texas as well, as you know, in Houston. So I didn't know anything about a bodega and all this stuff. And the first thing I saw when I went there was a guy, and he was really angry, and he was on the other side of the counter, and he was screaming like this, "Yo, my man, Ak! Ak! Ak!" And I was like, what is Ak?
Everybody who's here in the room, does anybody know what Ak means? Okay, cameras say no, sound says no. No, I say no. What does Ak mean?
So I was told that it's short for Ahmed because the owners of bodegas tend to be Middle Eastern.
Just so I'm clear, which character is shouting Ak at which character?
Whoever is the customer is trying to get Ak's
Got it.
attention.
Okay, now I understand. So basically, so many immigrants from the Middle East run bodegas.
Correct.
That becomes slang. Got it.
Right, but that's generally only in rougher neighborhoods. If you live in the nice part of Manhattan, you don't hear such language. However, things have changed. You take lemon and you turn them into lemonades.
Go on.
Somebody told me about this. There's a guy, he's in Brooklyn. They will go up to him and he'll be like, and they'll say, hey, Ak, I just brought in some McDonald's. Can you fix it up the Aki Way?
So Ak is slang for a
Right.
Middle Eastern person who
It
runs
used to be
a
derisive.
bodega. Correct.
Right.
But now it's being used
On
as
TikTok and YouTube.
give me the good version of this.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And usually what happens during the Aki Way is he'll take food like Joe's Pizza or McDonald's and put a bunch of stuff on it that just will give you indigestion.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's how humans come together.
Right. And then it's always like, yo, my man, can you fix this up the Aki Way? And then you gotta hit it with the cheese.
Let me get a Taki chicken on a purple pancake, the Aki Way.
Oh, let me get a cheese, bacon, and egg with Cheetos, nerds, and a banana. The Aki Way.
The Aki Way. Flaming hot Cheeto chicken cutlet, the Aki Way.
And I looked it up. It actually says on his menu, the Aki Way. So
okay.
now it's no longer as derisive as it used to be.
One of the best classes I ever took was, it was essentially Linguistics 101, although it was all about science fiction. It's like words only have meaning to the extent of what they mean when people hear them.
Right. So while you're at the bodega, you don't smoke, I don't smoke, but some people do. There's a lot of shady stuff that goes down in New York City. And in New York City,
You don't say.
a lot of shady stuff, okay? So in New York City, a lot of times cigarettes, at least while I was there, it may not be current, were up to $14, $15, sometimes if you were in a fancy...
For a pack.
Yeah.
Almost all of which is the heavy taxation.
Correct.
Yes.
So what you gotta do, there's a couple of methods. If you don't wanna leave the city, you gotta find what's called the $10 cigarettes or the $8 cigarettes.
They're from another state.
Yes. So there's a lot of different methods. A lot of people will go to New Jersey and get, because they're cheaper there, they don't have the same tax thing.
From my world, like, wasn't this the plot of a Seinfeld episode where they took a bunch of cans and tried to...
Right, it
Yeah.
probably was. So that's one method. And then the other method is to go to Virginia, and they'll be super cheap there, and they'll sell them for $8. But the really super, super sneaky Aki Way is they will have the $8 cigarettes and still charge you $15.
Oh, so now you get to double your margins.
Correct.
And hope that nobody notices imported from.
Well, that's always scratched off.
Man, we're just getting deeper and deeper. I thought this was going to be a gentleman episode. This is some scoundrel.
Just because I got the nice Patagonia uniform on doesn't mean I'm a nice guy. And this is where it gets kind of real. If you are in a semi-nice neighborhood in Brooklyn, what they charge Gerald is not going to be the same as what they would charge Brian.
Wow.
My man Brian's got money. Look, in this case, I'm the one with the money because I got the, whatever, uniform on.
You got the look, yeah.
But
race-determined pricing.
Yes. So the problem would be, let's pretend we both smoke. And you walk in and you barely notice that I got cigarettes for $10. You smoke the same brand, right? But my man Ak is kind of like looking at you and he's like, yo, this dude, he be all right. And then you go up there and then he's like, $15.
Explain to me, when you say Ak, it doesn't matter the actual race of the person.
It
matters the
I was just joking
character.
around, right?
Okay, all right, good.
I'll call him the owner.
Professor Bodega.
So he's gonna try to get Brian for $15 because Brian has the nice uniform on. He looks like he's gonna go to a tech job. He got it like that. How do you make sure that you get your cigarettes for either $8 or $10?
I mean, first of all, I would be the idiot that would be like, I guess that's what it costs.
Even though you just saw me, let's say we weren't friends in a different universe, and you just saw me buy him, and I put down the $10, and I walked out, and I went to the train.
This is
You're getting jerked for $5.
This is a little bit of Brian Brushwood, and it's a little bit of Texas. It would be kind of a smile and a wink, and I'll be like, let's say we do 10. But I also know that in big cities, being overly extroverted is not the best look. You respect other people by staying in your lane.
Right.
And, whereas You know, here out in the country, it's like, hello, sir, here's a pie my wife made.
Right.
I hope we're friends.
Right. There's a kinder thing that happens in Texas and in the South in general. So the first thing that Professor Bodega is gonna do is he's not gonna put the cigarettes quite in reach, right? So now he wants your $15, you wanna pay 10, and you said you would do the wink and the wave. And if I'm Professor Bodega, he's gonna be like, nah, my man, it's 15. So now you got a new problem because he's removed the item that you want that you just saw the other homie pay $10 for.
Okay, so in this scenario, I know I'm being targeted for presenting as though I'm easier to fleece.
Right.
So the question is, how do I negotiate back? And I assume because you're bringing this up, there is an answer.
There is an answer. You're gonna have to do as the locals do, and it still won't guarantee that you get the cigarettes for $10 or whatever this item is, right? So you're gonna have to call him out on his bullshit. You're gonna have to say, no, and you have to be real loud and real aggressive about it. You're gonna be like, nah, just like we're calling back to the, yo, my man, Ak.
This is
That could have been
the
a problem.
secret language.
Yes.
Like if you did this at the bank,
Right.
it would be wildly inappropriate.
Right.
However, it's totally appropriate in the bodega.
In the bodega,
Yeah.
because what you're trying to get across to him is like, nah, my man, I know what's up. You're playing me. Now you
Right.
can build a relationship. If he says $15 and you pay him, he's gonna remember your face forever.
Correct.
And this is
now
always gonna
he
be
knows what
$15.
lane to put me in.
Right.
This is somebody to be fleeced.
Right.
going on.
So now you got to start with the yo, my dude, nah. I seen that guy right there. He just paid $10, and you got to say it loud for the whole store to hear. You got to like include all these people.
Right.
And he might even give pushback, and he's gonna say $15, and then you have to decide whether you think you can get him.
He's soft asking, give me 50% more for this product. You are saying, is it going to be worth the trouble I'm about to cause you?
Right, and then if you really want to get slick with it, because now you're gonna take him to school, not scam school, cross promotion. You can point out the tax thing. You can say like, no, I know you got those cigarettes from Virginia, bro. Now what's up? I'm trying to get these for $10, just like the homie, man. Come on, quit bullshitting me, man. And you got to get like really like hostile with it.
That's amazing. What else you got?
While you're at the bodega, though, you're not just gonna buy cigarettes or whatever kind of paraphernalia like that. You might get thirsty because you're about to go to the train, right?
I guess. Does Uber exist?
Uber does exist, but most regular people are on the
Take
train.
the train,
Yeah,
right.
but you know the train is coming in like 5 minutes and you got like a 3-minute walk. You don't have time for all this, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pay for your water, and it's $1.
There'll be taxes though, right?
No, it's just $1. If you go to like Duane Reade, which is owned by Walgreens, you're gonna pay taxes, but at the bodega, you just pay the homie $1. For some people, the water might not be $1, but you have to know it's $1. Because if you come in like, how much is this? He might, $1.50. And he says it with the thunder, so now he got another 50 cents out of you.
Right. I guess what you're saying is that a bit of classic negotiation is still on the table, even in places when you wouldn't expect it.
Yes, because New York is mad shady. Now you see there's a long line. What are you gonna do when you buy your water for $1? You gotta get to the train, dog. You can't be late. You know, it's your first day at scam school.
Am
You
I
gotta
at the
get to
front
train.
or the end?
You're at the end of the line, man. You're not,
Oh,
it's gonna be wild.
You just walk up, you drop that, you just,
So I'll give you half credit, that is right. So you have your water in your hand.
okay?
You crumple up the bill like this. I'm Brian, you're Professor Bodega.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's like a huge line,
Yep.
right? I gotta get to the
Oh,
train.
I guess I should get all the
Right.
way up.
Right, the exit is that way.
Yep.
And I got the water in my hand, and I go, yo, my man, here you go, the water. I was gonna throw it at your face, but I thought that'd be really rude.
No.
You
but
literally like, yo, my man, I got this water, all right? Bet.
are you overpaying in that moment or are you underpaying?
I'm paying what is normal. And this is from 12 to whatever year I left, 21, I think.
Yeah.
At certain bodegas, it's always $1. If you're in a nicer neighborhood and it's nicer water,
Then they're gonna do tax
or
and all
if
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they're gonna,
Yeah.
or it's gonna be 50 cents more or whatever, right? In the right bodega, it's generally gonna be $1.
That seems so wildly inappropriate.
That you throw the money up there.
yeah.
So sometimes Professor Bodega, my man Ak, he's like moving around, he's doing stuff, either he's cooking or he's got stuff going on, or you know. So sometimes you're throwing it to nobody and you just scream to Professor Ak, yo, my dude, I got this water, bro. And you leave the dollar there, and there's often a pile of crumpled bills that he comes and collects.
And nobody in line tries
Nobody
to
touches
sneak
it. Not in any instance
And in
that I've
fact,
seen.
now they're all on the hook to vouch for you. Like, hey, what just happened? He's like, he paid you this dollar for it was the water. We all saw it.
When I watched it, he literally just uncrumpled the money and put in the register. Like he just assumed everybody that was supposed to pay, paid.
This is like the Wild West, man.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. Have a nice day. You know, we don't have time for all that. We gotta go.
Gerald Torregosa, 25 years after you were my stagehand, you've lived a life, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just gonna walk up to my wife and I'll be all like, I'll be in my room. I'll let you know how it goes.
You gotta throw it at her, and you gotta like have attitude about it. There is a slight disrespect when it's done, but there's like a understanding, like you don't mean
the crumpling is the metal part.
You don't mean any disrespect. You just try to get your stuff and go.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Annaliese,
Yes.
you know what people are always asking me? Will you please bring back the hair? And I say, I don't know what hair you're talking about. It's constantly evolving, and it will never be the same thing. It's like shopography with my own head. In fact, maybe I should make a website about this. No matter how ridiculous your message is, you can get it out to the world with Squarespace. They keep you loud, live, and independent. They get your message all the way from the street corner, all the way to global, worldwide. And they cover you every step of the way, from award-winning beautiful designs to email lists to e-commerce. There's not one part of the adventure that you've watched me on for, oh God, 16 years now? 18 years. It's been 18 years. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue, spell it right, R-O-G-U-E, and you can give it a free trial. And when you fall in love, get 10% off by using promo code ROGUE at checkout. This is all working, right?
Absolutely.
Modern Rogue is supported in part by viewers like you at patreon.com/modernrogue. In the description, you can find all of our credits and additional ways to support the show.
Does every bodega really have a cat?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Not every bodega has a cat, but often there's a lot of people that argue bodega, deli, blah, blah, blah. So the thing that makes you know it's a bodega is that it has a cat. Because it can only be called bodega cat. You can't call it deli cat. That's mad weird. I'm like, yo, bodega cat. Yeah.